Hello everyone and welcome back to China Observer. I'm your host, Peter. Today I'll be telling everyone a tragic story that's been circulating on the internet recently about a man known by his online alias, Mocha Official, whom we'll refer to as Mocha in this video. On the evening of January 21st, 2021, it was reported by netizens that the 22-year-old video maker had died in a rented apartment due to poverty and illness, causing much controversy in mainland China. The site is called Bilibili, also referred to as B-site in China, and is a popular video sharing website based in Shanghai. It is centered around animation, comics, and games, and allows users to submit, view, and add overlay commentary on videos. Mocha's last message on B-site was on December 31st of 2020, and he said, "And yet, I'm still lying in a hospital bed, quite depressing." Before his death, he once posted saying, "I've never had dumplings on winter solstice since I was a kid, and wanting to eat strawberries, but they were too expensive." Now these messages are really heartbreaking to read. Mocha was born in 1998 in Daliang Mountain, Sichuan Province, one of the poorest areas in China. His family was originally quite well off and had good grades in high school, but in order to treat his sick grandmother, Mocha's family began to accumulate debt. Eventually, his grandma passed away, and Mocha's parents chose to leave home to escape their creditors because they could not pay off their debt. Now, in order to survive, Mocha went to work as a loader in the city of Chengdu. With a monthly salary of only 800 yuan, which is about $124 USD, Mocha had to pay 500 yuan, which is 77 USD, in rent each month, which only leaves him around 300 yuan or 47 USD as his monthly living expenses. As a result of his irregular meals and hunger, Mocha suffered from severe stomach problems. He frequently wrote on B-site that his stomach pains are unbearable and that "my stomach hurts so much that I can't sleep." Now, around April to May of 2018, Mocha went to claim his paycheck because his employer didn't pay him. But not only did he not get the salary back that he deserved, his ID card was even trampled on and destroyed by the employer, and he was subsequently kicked out. Now, without a source of livelihood, Mocha was then scammed by a stranger who exchanged $500 worth of Alipay credits for $200 cash. Now, with his rent expired and his health in very poor conditions, Mocha had no choice but to return to his hometown. Now, as Mocha could not even afford to pay the journey back home, he had no choice but to ask his QQ group friends for help. With the help of the group, Mocha was able to raise enough money, just enough money, to return to the shabby house where his grandmother once lived. Mocha has a best friend, the QQ group leader, whom we'll refer to as Yu. He said every transfer of money we sent to Mocha was in the name of a loan, and Mocha would thank us repeatedly after receiving the money, and said he would even repay it when his health was well enough that he can get a job and earn money. But many people knew that the chances of Mocha actually being able to repay the money is very slim, so we considered it as our gift to help him. On the advice of his friends, Mocha went to the local hospital for treatment and was diagnosed with gastric ulcer and gastritis. But since he only had what little money he received from the group, he hurried home after only a few days of infusion and treatment. Luckily, the village people were kind enough not to ask Mocha to pay back his family debts, and his friends suggested that Mocha should apply for low-income insurance, but he said that he was too young and not disabled, and that he could not apply for it simply because of the poverty caused by his illness. He actually needed to go to the village committee and the police station to get a certificate, and that required an ID card, which we know was smashed and destroyed by his former boss. Now, if you didn't know, in China, this ID card is vitally important. It is very troublesome to reapply for a new card, and the cost is something that Mocha just simply cannot afford. He also can't just simply get another job to pay for this card, since he needs an ID card to apply for jobs to begin with. So he's just in a real dilemma right now. But later, Mocha had a new ray of hope. He told his friend Yu that his house was about to be demolished, and that if he survives until then, his life could experience a turnaround because he can be given compensation for the demolition. Although suffering from his illness and now without an ID card, Mocha still decides to do something in order to earn money. At the suggestion of a group of friends, Mocha started working as a VTuber, or virtual YouTuber. Some of his friends sent him various computer parts that they had no use of, some helped him design his VTuber image, and some made models for him. Now, although he only had 100 or so followers, and the only ones who actually watched him live were his friends, Mocha still persevered in this career. But later, Mocha's father came back and wanted to inherit the ownership of the house, so Mocha's grandmother's house, in order to get the demolition compensation. So, like the great father that he is, he gave Mocha a beating and kicked him out of the house. So now Mocha has no choice but to rent a house in the country and live stream while working. So Mocha had another friend by the name of Chen Xu, and they met in Yu's QQ fan group. Chen says that Mocha has never wanted to bother anyone too much. In his posts, he would give a preview of his gaming livestream time, write about his health, and give an update on his daily routine, such as, "The small rice cooker I bought from Pinduoduo has arrived for 20 yuan, so I hope it will last longer." Or, "There are too many mosquitoes, I can't even rest properly." Or something like, "I'm back from work, so I can finally eat, I'm starving." And the accompanying picture being a packet of instant noodles. However, even bigger misfortunes followed. On August 30th of 2020, Yu sent out a plea for help on behalf of Mocha. According to his description, Mocha felt unwell a few months ago, and after a checkup at the hospital, found out that he had some sort of tumor in his nasal cavity. The doctor recommended him to stay in the hospital and have examinations conducted, but since Mocha couldn't afford it, he just chose not to undergo treatment at the time. By the time the request for help was sent, the swelling was making it very difficult for Mocha to breathe and was pressing on his visual nerves. Yu wrote in the post that Mocha was a low-income worker who could not afford to pay his medical treatment, and that he hopes everyone can help Mocha get operated on as soon as possible. At the time, some users suggested that Mocha should start an online fundraising campaign for his treatment, but Mocha had no money for the examination, so he could not prepare the necessary materials that he needed to actually start the fundraising campaign, and had to give up on that idea. But eventually, and luckily, with the help of his friends, he did undergo surgery, and although the surgery was successful, it was discovered that during the treatment, he was also diabetic. So group members speculated that the diabetes were probably caused by irregular diets and hunger for a prolonged period of time, as well as a diet consisting of only starchy foods, such as instant noodle and bread, which can convert into an excess amount of maltose that can eventually cause diabetes. A doctor actually explained in the comments section that people with diabetes have an abnormal glucose metabolism and always feel hungry. But Mocha was very poor and couldn't afford to buy much food, so when he did feel hungry and had no food to supplement his diet, he would burn his body fat to replenish energy, thus producing what's called ketones. When ketone is produced faster than the rate of metabolism can handle, it can cause poisoning to the body. Therefore, the cause of Mocha's death was probably diabetic ketoacidosis, or DKA. It has been found that patients with severe acidosis have difficulty breathing and is life-threatening. So the bill he left behind shows that although the medication he took was only 1.8 yuan per tablet, he was still buying them one tablet at a time. Before his death, Mocha suffered not only from illness but also from severe hunger. But even though he was so poor, in the eyes of his friend Yu, Mocha was described as a kind person. He was pained at the thought of having to buy pills for himself for treatment, yet he was willing to buy a carton of milk for a stray cat on the road. He even asked the owner of a small shop, whom he knew well, to take care of the stray cat. The last time Mocha spoke in the group was at the end of December 2020, when his health was already in very bad state. Mocha rarely spoke about his condition in the group, and only once did he ever post about his medical history. The impression he gave was one of strength, and someone commented that he had been earning money with his own two hands since the very beginning. On the 12th of November 2020, Mocha wrote, "I have to test my blood sugar 7 times a day, so my fingers are pricked 7 times a day, and it hurts a lot." On December 17th of 2020, after receiving a diagnosis of various complications from the hospital, Mocha wrote, "Let's cherish the few days I have left." It's very heartbreaking to read. Now, Mocha's last message was actually sent on January 4th, and his friends in the WeChat group were worried because his last statements were all about his illness, and then he never spoke again. The group's owner, Yu, was the first to know that Mocha might have passed away. He was the closest to Mocha and had helped him on many occasions. There was a time Mocha wanted to eat his chili sauce, and Yu even mailed it to him. On the night of January 10th, Yu sent a WeChat message to Mocha, only to receive a reply from Mocha's father saying that "my son is dead." On January 12th, Mocha's father asked Yu that, "Did he not tell you that he was seriously ill on that day?" Yu said that around December 30th of last year, the group forced him to go to the hospital for treatment and helped him raise money for his medical expenses. But after he spoke to the group for the last time on January 4th, he was never heard from again. On January 19th, Yu posted an obituary in the group. Mocha passed away earlier this month, exact time unknown, due to a combination of poverty and illness. Let us send our sincere condolences and remembrances to Mocha. On the evening of January 22nd, staff from the Party Committee Publicity Department of Huili County in Sichuan confirmed that Mocha did pass away around the 10th and was found by the landlord, who has informed his family. His body has been cremated and the funeral will be handled by his mother. Mocha's death shows us the gap between what we think is the reality of China's prosperity and progress and what is actually the case. The Chinese Communist Party announced recently that all poor counties in China have been removed from poverty, and Peng Qinghua, the party secretary of Sichuan Province, was recently interviewed by state media CCTV about the achievements of the country's economic development. But suddenly, the story of Mocha popped up and became a trending topic on Weibo. Obviously, the CCP can't let that happen, right? It's contradictory to their announcement and will tarnish their image. So, the CCP once again turned to what they're best at, which is using mass media and propaganda to shape public opinions and distort the truth. While many netizens were still mourning Mocha's death, things took a turn for the worse. On the 23rd, an article was published by Chunguan News, which is a media outlet of the Sichuan Provincial Party Committee newspaper, Sichuan Daily. The article wanted to rectify Mocha's death due to poverty. In the article, Mocha was described as withdrawn and had a strained relationship with his parents, and it was implied that it was his parents' divorce that led to the many misfortunes in his life. The official media also highlighted that Mocha's family was in fact not poor, and that his grandfather had a regular monthly income from the government, such as a monthly pension and rural pension insurance, and that they owned a small single-family home with 2 stories, with a TV, fridge, freezer, washing machine, rice cookers, and other appliances. The official media also mentioned that Mocha's mother said herself that she had a Kia car, that she was in partnership with someone who owns a foot spa, and that she also had purchased a commercial house and office space in Xichang City. However, the veracity of the official media's report have been questioned by the public. There are also online comments suggesting that there's a reason why the official media is rushing to issue an article to dispel the rumors. Mocha's death may seem like a small matter, but given the timing of this story and its circulation on the internet, it's actually quite a big deal. You see, 2020 was set to be the year that China officially achieves its so-called moderate prosperous society. So the government obviously can't allow any news that implies otherwise to be going around. In the eyes of the authorities, Mocha is nothing but an ant. There are so many more cases of suffering and tragedies in China, way too many to count. Most of the stories probably won't even make it out of the family or the circle of friends. Those that do, like Mocha's, will be suppressed or distorted by the government so that the people will never know the truth. Well, that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed our content, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.